Good morning. So I created a post a couple of months ago and I realized that it's just now starting to get some traction. I'm feeling pretty excited about this. It's been a while since I've had a post go viral. Right now it's got I think close to 20,000 shares. So that's pretty cool. So it says he hates you. This is how you can tell, a thread. I'm doing this video because I mean about 20,000 shares, hundreds and hundreds of comments. I probably thousands, but I haven't had time to go through them. But I've noticed something. Every woman, everyone has been able to relate to, and I mean by the thousands, the things that are in the thread. But every XY that has actually come into a post, come into this grown woman's discussion that they don't belong in, literally every single one of them has either commented or shared, like, literally proving our point. Like, literally proving my point and the point of the other woman that, oh my God, so many of you guys really do hate us, like, really do. So let's start with this one. So some guy shared it, and he says, and you can see right there at the top, some females be too dumb to pick up the signs, LMAO. It's not funny, but come on now. You this sexy and this nignog don't want to be seen with you? Question mark. So first of all, he doesn't have good reading comprehension because just because it's in a post doesn't mean that every comment is about me. Now, some of the comments are my personal experiences. Some of them are things that I have noticed over my 41 years of life that I've seen over and over again, enough to be able to make a post about it because I've seen it that much in abundance or heard other people experiencing it. How are you gonna call me dumb and sexy literally in the same in the same breath? First of all, I don't care. And then again, like, you're calling me dumb, it's gotta be projection because only a dumb person would think that just because the person is viewed as sexy, that they still wouldn't be treated in a way that is just really unkind. So I suppose we'll go ahead and call this video another installment of a video series I have on my YouTube channel called Pathetic Patriarchy, because it's exactly what this is. So here's another one of those degenerate chromosomes, actually speaking. So he says, how y'all be with people long enough for them to get all this off? Because, obviously, if we're with a person, which, first of all, there's no timeline listed anywhere in my posts. But let's just say we're with the person for a year. Let's just say that. Because if you're with the person for a year, then that means that that should be long enough to know the inner workings of that person's mind, heart, spirit. I mean, even if they choose not to disclose it to you, we can never be the victim as a woman. We are supposed to carry the responsibility of everything. Of course, quietly carry it because we're not the responsible ones, they are. But, we're supposed to quietly carry it, and everything is always our responsibility and our fault. Like the B2K killer that, his wife lived with him for a whole lifetime, had, the church worked with him, he worked for the city, all that stuff, and somehow they were all supposed to know that he had this quiet part inside of him locked away, that he was killing people for decades. It is everyone around him, and especially his wife, it's her fault that she didn't know that, there was something that he just kind of kept from her that was that terrible. Ah, like these people who commit fraud and their spouses don't know for a long time until they're caught because you only know what people show. Sure, there's intuition and there's discernment, but everyone has it at different levels. And this is also a society that continues to try to force women to see the best in people. And, we're supposed to be the nurturers and the providers and to help people flourish. And in order to do that, we have to look at everything through the lens of hope and what things will be rather than looking at things exactly as they are. So that's how you can be with people long enough for them to get all this off. Thanks for your question, asshole. A lot of the comments from the ladies were echoing the sentiments or sharing some of their own stories. And here's a few of them. Lauren Maynor says, Ninjas really beg to F with you just to hate you. It's really true. It's really. Erica May says, "You ain't never lied." Keisha House says, "Yes, ma'am." And then, of course, blowing the nose to show that we are just so allergic to the BS. So here's a guy who had a lot of feelings. He shared my post a couple of times, actually. He had a lot of feelings about what I said. Um, Apparently, women speaking the truth and letting other women know about people like him, it must have really, really hurt his prospects out there in the streets. It sounds like he's got a lot of pent-up aggression, and ladies wising up has probably dried his little bat and balls. So he's mad. He's big mad. So Aaron Hannibal Lecter says, "You 41 years old, misleading these young ladies out here because you went through something with 1 to 3 people that you chose to keep around. 40 effing one, LOL." Because, of course, age really determines mm, your level of how much fucked uptivity that you are going to allow to remain in your life. Age is a really big part of that, not experience, wisdom, education, the societal norms that you grew up in, culture, um, hmm, what you may have already been predisposed to, what you learned, church, religion, trauma. All those things, don't also play a part in your experiences and things like that that are going to shape what you decide to share with the world. It's just your age. So I think there's two words in here that are really a dog whistle for me, and that is young ladies. This is what they're really mad about. Old 41-year-olds who only had 1 to 3 bad guys in their entire life, who are out here telling the truth to these young ladies about what to watch out for. That's what they're really angry about. Because I'm old. I'm an old hag, and I'm just spoiling all these beautiful, young, impressionable, unsuspecting young ladies so that there's just not enough low-hanging fruit for them anymore. We're forcing them to have to evolve, and they're mad about it. They're tantruming. And I'm not quite sure how he could just look at my Facebook and determine that I've had 1 to 3 people that I chose to keep around, or even determine that this post is based upon 1 to 3 guys in my life. But go off, sis. Go off, sis, Aaron. So, like I told you, this guy Aaron has a lot of feelings about me. Big Briss Aaron. So, he shared my post another time. Yay, me. And he said, "It ain't the man, it's you, baby girl." So first I'm an old woman, now I'm baby girl. You the problem that makes problems out of every single little thing in life. LOL. 'Cause he knows me very well, guys. Man, homies, women and men, homies, read this shit and tell me this ain't. Tell me, I'm trying not to say the cuss words, but it's just kind of hard not to. Read this S and tell me this S ain't dumb. So he posted it another time, and it's not me, it's the problem because I make a problem out of every single little thing. You know who loves to say that to me on a regular basis? My 8-year-old son. Because that is 8-year-old logic. Whenever I say to him, um, "Hey, son, you didn't take this trash bag out," or when you took this trash bag out, well, first it's, "Hey, son, can you take the trash bag out?" And he's still learning how to do things, um, with a certain level of excellence. So he'll take it out, and let's say 1 or 2 tissues or papers dropped. So I'll go, "Hey, son, you dropped the paper." And his 8-year-old logic sometimes, especially when he's in the middle of a game or something that is far more important to him. He'll go, God, why couldn't you just be happy I took the trash out? And I'm teaching him, like, no, there is no just be happy, there to do it right. So, I'll send him back because something got dropped. Or, I don't know. It could be that I told him to go back and correct how he wiped down the table. Why does everything have to be a problem? This is 8-year-old logic. When we call out their bullshittery, when we call out their ain't shitness, that's, of course, the gaslighting statement that says that we make a problem out of every single little thing. Yep. And that's why we leave them in droves. We leave them in droves because of all those little things that we make big problems out of. So I told you guys that he had a lot to say. So when I saw that he shared my post, I definitely commented him and I said, thanks for the share and fuck you very much. That really set him off. So here's his comment. He said, "You just proved my point, little ugly hammerhead shark." He called me a little ugly hammerhead shark looking motherfucker. He wants that to be true so bad, guys. He said, what's all the hostility for?" But didn't he come in hot, guns a blazing for me with mad hostility? Like, literally, you shared my post twice and dogged me out, but then you're gonna say to me, "Thanks for the hostility." They hate it when we give them back what they gave to us. He put all of them bullets in the air, right? And he acted like I hit him back with a bazooka because all I said was, "Thanks for the share and fuck you very much." This is the way of the ex-wife. It just really is. So now he goes into this whole sermonic, like, just flurry. So he says, see that how you operate in your relationships, because he knows me very well, dot dot dot. All that hot girl shit get you slapped. First of all, didn't he just call me a 41-year-old? And he said it a couple of times, which I guess it's safe to imply that he's calling me old. But then he says all that hot girl shit. This fool said, get you slapped. Because remember, if they cannot control you, what will they try to do? Exactly that. You better turn your gangsta down. So now I'm a gangsta because I said thanks for sharing it and fuck you very much. Thanks for insulting me, but thanks for sharing my post and fuck you very much. I better turn my gangsta down. I got street cred now, guys. Call me OG Nisi Corleone up in this. So let's go to the next part. Like I said, this shit dumb as F, and you made this up based off of one experience with a FN slash baby daddy. Oof. He knows a lot, doesn't he? Not even a regular partner. So that's also insinuating that I've never actually had, a husband, which I've had two, a fiance, had another one of those, a long-term partner, had another one of those as well. How y'all know when an in gay by looking at him? Okay, I don't even know what he's talking about because I never said that in my post at all. But he said, how y'all know when an in gay by looking at him? Okay, but you don't know when an in a bum a F boy. Okay, I get it. That's because you decided to pick and choose which red flags you wanted to take to account. So let me answer that question. That's a really interesting question because there are so many women, particularly black women, who don't know when their ends are gay. And that's why they're dying with HIV because they don't know when their men are gay either. Look up the stats. And that's why when they go to the doctor for an annual visit, they pop up and they discover that they have some incurable disease, or sometimes, a regular STD that can go away with medication if they're lucky, because they don't know who their ends are screwing behind their back. So, no, we don't always know when our ends are gay or when our ends are F boy, which is the whole point of my post, to try to help more women be able to recognize. So we're going to stay here just for another moment or two about this whole how do we not know when our how are we able to know when our ends are gay but not know when they're a bum ass F boy. But is it even safe for us even when we find out they are gay? Because what happens to us, particularly black women, because we are hurt and killed at exponentially higher numbers than any other woman on this planet. And it's by these guys, mind you. What happens when we do discover that they are gay and then we give them what they want, which is the space to be able to live their life out loud and live their truth with someone who is not us? We get unalived, we get hurt. So at the it doesn't matter either way. We just have to protect ourselves. We have to arm ourselves with the truth and the red flags, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And even when I do that, and I try to help my sisters wise up and not be susceptible to all these things that you're basically trying to bash me for experiencing some of these things, at the end, we're still abused by you guys because you basically are telling me that I need to be slapped for what I'm saying. You are what is wrong with our society. This is the privilege of patriarchy. Seriously, the ignorance upon arrogance. So let's keep going. That was a really nice line. You decided to choose which red flags you wanted to take to account. It sounds really nice, like rolling off the tongue, and to the untrained ear, it may even sound like that was reasonable. But that is the whole point of what these scuzz buckets do. They say things that may sound a little nice to try to razzle dazzle you with their BS and come off as if they're really, they really did something. So he said, that's your decision, not anyone else's. But you want to come on this blue app and cry and get validation from other women trying to recruit them because misery loves company. Now, fuck your life and existence. Looking in the mirror is a start. And when you do look in the mirror, slap yourself for doing what you did, Hammerhead. Obviously, this dude does not have a mirror. There's only one thing in here that's partially true. Looking in the mirror is a start. And you know what, sir? And I'm saying sir to be very generous here, because there's nothing gentlemanly about you. You're definitely not a sir. When I decided to look in the mirror, I said, self, I don't like this cycle of things that I've been experiencing with these XYs. Lord, did you know that these XYs down here were like this? I've been with the good ones. I've been with the bad ones. I've been with the church ones. I've been with the cop ones. We're supposed to date for data. I dated for data. I even married two, and was engaged to one. I mean, after all, I am 41. I'm pretty old, which means I've had more than three guys. I've had more than 1 to 3 experiences with men, even in the workplace. Even as friends. There's men in my family I have relationships with, obviously, brothers, cousins, uncles, all of that. And after all of the data in my old 41 years of life, this is my conclusion based upon data that I collected and data that I've observed. And I looked in the mirror and I said, I don't like my experiences. And I bet there's a lot of other girls out there like this too. So let me look in the mirror, take accountability, and decide, you know what? I'm going to go against a lot of what I was trained, and I'm going to start actually being selfish, taking good care of me, and not allowing these things. And look, I'm still being victimized. After I looked in the mirror, decided to take control of my life and not allow them to control my life or my existence, my fertility, my finances, my housing stability, everything anymore. I looked in the mirror and said, you know what? No one's coming to save you. Save yourself. I did that. And I educate and I empower other people. And no matter what, I'm abused on that side. I'm abused on this side, or at least they try to. They're angry because they can't anymore. He said, F my life and existence. Whew, that's a major projection, of course. And slap myself for doing what I did. That's what they want you to do. They want you to keep slapping yourself for being susceptible Not because you didn't choose their abuse. I'm talking to you girls now. You didn't choose their abuse. You didn't choose their degeneracy. It's not your fault. Whatever somebody does to you is not your fault. It is your responsibility to be able to learn and grow and get away from that and protect yourself in the future. But they want you to do exactly what he said here. Slap yourself for doing what you did, which we didn't do it. They did. But they want us to slap ourselves because if we continue to beat ourselves up, then we imprison ourselves in shame. And they need us to stay imprisoned in that shame of beating ourselves up because it allows them to continue to do it too. All right, I'm trying to move on, but there's just so much to say about what this dude, all this word vomit. They always sprinkle a little truth in what they're saying, mostly truth about themselves. And this is good because it gives people like me more content and more wisdom and more, facts and feelings and everything else to share with people like you who come here just for that. I'm trying to give you more of what I think that if I had more of it, some of my outcomes would have been different and I wouldn't have had so many hurdles to overcome to get to where I am and where I'm going. So here comes some of the parishioners from his pimpy pulpit. Somebody called Thank Ya. He says, "Ma'am, these women seem like they be slower every 3 years." I don't want to make fun of slow people. Like, we're not it. I think he is. Look at his grammar. So then Aaron says, "MFA gonna delete it." And then he says, "Shit, she blocked me, but you talking about F me." I sure did. Everybody should block you. Every woman should block you from their life. Ladies and well, yeah, the few of you that are gentlemen that do support me and my message. So ladies and gentlemen, let's see who Aaron Hannibal is and what he looks like so that you guys can know when you see this face, clock it and block it because he's already exposed himself to be an angry abuser. Oh, it's been a day or two since I've seen this picture. Oh, good God. Damn. Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Aaron. Now, who really looks like a hammerhead shark? This is the person who had so many words to say to me, who had so much hood rat knowledge to share with the world, who shared my post twice. Again, thank you for sharing it twice. Thank you, and fuck you very much. This is who you should clock and block. Clearly, he does not have a mirror in his life either. Not a physical one or a metaphysical one. I just, I couldn't help it. I mean, I want you to consider the source of this pathetic patriarchy. Consider the source of pathetic patriarchy. This is Aaron. He's so well kept. And look at the car. He's so successful. He has so much to offer. And I am getting in the way of what he wants to offer you ladies. I am recruiting more miserable young girls. I'm turning them away from getting with a catch such as Aaron. Gosh.